And you just said it perfectly, Sean. That's exactly the way we want it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, when you're looking at the break of history, Phil's going to have to dig deep, work his magic, but you've got to know that a guy that's been second before, who's hungry for victory, is going to do the exact same thing, and it's going to make for a great matchup tomorrow.
Meanwhile, fans of Big Ramy around the world, he's extremely popular, are a little bit unsettled right now as the perennial runner-up, if you will, is now being pushed to a place where we have to question whether or not he is going to be in the mix for this title this year.
If he was 310, again, if he came back the other way, it was 290, he might have been more competitive. I think he should have probably dialed it back a little bit. Mass is, it's not.
Relax.
He put it in the wrong place.
Brandon switch.
But the real battle is going to be for that third place spot. It's wide open because William Bonek and Rolly Winkler are also sent back.
Switch.
And the judges are definitely going to be mixing these guys up. They want to get it right, Dan.
Yep.
I don't care if you're fourth place or fifth place. This is what these guys do. They want to get it right.
Is it safe to say that the happiest guy in Las Vegas right now is probably Rolly Winkler?
Rolly has never been in this territory because he's never been fourth in the world. He's never been third. He's never been second. So he's had a very, very good run so far. And to be in that first call out for him, his work is done as of right now.
When you consider how much he has done to fine-tune that physique, because
there
was a time where that physique looked nothing like an elite, world-class, Olympia contending physique. He had a lot of parts, but it never flowed together, and he's really gone to the drawing board, and he's created something pretty formidable, and right now it's making a run at the title.
You got to credit Bader Budai and the Oxygen crew. Those guys are working miracles over there. I was there when Big Rolly won the Amateur Arnold Classic, and we're a long ways away from that. But we're going to get a final look at those top guys one more time. And Dan, I want you to pay particular attention to the front poses of Sean Roden and Phil Heath, and then compare and contrast when they turn to the rear, because this, to me, right now is a two-man fight.
So right now, you see it as Sean Roden and Phil Heath gunning for the 2018 Mr. Olympia?
Charles and Steve.
And even though this is one of those bottom call-outs, this is a very important call-out for these guys, because these guys had to qualify to get here.
That's right.
Charles and Alex, switch, please.
I got to tell you, this guy's impressive.
Steve
Alex.
Lucas, switch, please.
Alex will see some days ahead of him, number 5. He's got a pretty little body there.
Alexi Rivera, the pride of Puerto Rico, the winner of the Tampa Pros here in Las Vegas. And when you get the approval of Sean Ray, you know you're onto something. And it looks like this guy is making quite an impression. And you're right, he could be one of those guys. We're looking for some new blood to come into this Olympia stage and start to give us some new physiques and new personalities to talk about. And Alexi is one of the new crop.
Hey, you pick the right shows, you build your name, thicken up the back a little bit, dial in the conditioning. He could make a run next year and
back double
move up.
Well, the other night at the press conference, Sean Roden was exuding confidence. He had said, just wait till you see what I bring. Last year I was 5th. I know I missed the mark, but I have done things this year that are going to put me in the position to win. That's pretty much what he said, and he is delivering on that promise.
And to that tune, Dan, him and Phil are not best of friends. This is like a Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed situation, Apollo Creed being Phil Heath. Sean Roden is quietly trudging along, trying to close that gap and take what Phil has spent a lifetime owning. Those 7 Sandown trophies. Phil does not want to lose to Sean Roden.
Well, Phil Heath is the champ, and I don't know about the expression, you got to knock out the champ. I actually don't believe in that expression. A win is a win, and Phil Heath needs to be the best bodybuilder in this lineup of 19 to retain the title. But I'm anxious to see what Steve Weinberger does once he brings the top guys back out again. If he reduces it to a 2-man call-out, either way, right now, fans around the world, they want to see these comparisons, and Sean Roden versus Phil Heath is turning out to be the story of the 2018 Olympia. But I'll tell you what, we don't know what that judging panel is thinking, and Rolly Winkler is bringing some pretty dangerous things to the stage.
Dan, they don't pay us the big bucks for not giving our opinion, so I'm going to give them mine right now. This is a two-man contest.
Sergio and John
And
switch.
the third and fourth, you got to deal with Rolly Winkler and William Bonek. And if I got to go out on a limb tonight, this can change tomorrow in 24 hours. I've got William Bonek in fourth. I've got Rolly Winkler in third. I've got Sean Roden pushing that apple cart over, but he hasn't closed the door. And we're going to get another look at that before this pre-judge is over, I'm sure.
Well, if you want to hit us up and let us know what you're thinking over the next 24 hours, do it. You can hit me up over on Instagram, Digital Muscle Media. You can hit me up on Facebook, Dan Solomon. Of course, Sean Ray is on all the social media platforms. And let us know what you think. We want to hear about it because we love to get a sense for what the fans, what you guys are thinking as you watch this show. And right now, we're just kind of the two of us here in our own private think tank. But we know there's some opinions and some strong ones from people that are oftentimes a lot smarter than us and have a better sense for what this competition looks like from their seat. So we definitely want to hear what you have to say.
It's a global broadcast, Dan. I mean, people are watching all over the world. Who's going to be crowned the next Mr. Olympia? Will it be 13th again for Phil Heath and holding on to that, or will we have a new 14th? And of course, they can find me on social media on Instagram, Sean Ray, IFBB Pro. Of course, Sugar Sean Ray on Facebook. I answer all my questions and I try to give my feedback. I want to see this last and final call out. And I would like to see all four, not just two, because I believe that William Bonek has got to fight Rolly Winkler to stay in that top three. And I believe that Sean Roden has got to wrestle this title away from Phil Heath. So I hope the judges make them work for their titles.
Side tricep.
I remember, Dan, and you weren't there, but I was on that stage when Dorian Yates would get one call out, or Lee Haney would get one call out, and the challengers never had an opportunity to make the champion work. Phil Heath is going to have to work for this one.
Abdominals and thighs.
Well, what a story. It's great seeing Sergio Oliva on that stage, flanked by some great new young talent, some up-and-comers, and also a couple veterans up there as well. So it's a real great mix. We're back here at the 2018 Olympia. Our coverage is presented by our friends at iHerb. iHerb.com, and I am told that I am supposed to pronounce it iHerb, emphasizing the H, IHERB.com, and of course the folks at Muscle Farm
Rolly,
who are
Sean,
supporting
William, and Phil.
And here's the call out we were anticipating,
Rolly,
Dan. This being a global contest.
Roden and William. So as you mentioned, he did bring William Bonek into this group.
As well, he should. These athletes are from the Netherlands, from Egypt, from Canada, Puerto Rico, Czech Republic, Curacao, very international flavor. But this is what we came here to see. These are going to be our top four finalists.
Rolly and Sean switch.
If you look at how Phil's carrying himself on stage, his hands on his hips, relaxed. Sean Roden's not like that.
Give yourself room and hit a
Sean's
front
stomach is tight and tense, and he's ready to do battle.
Steve Weinberger, the head judge, moves Sean Roden next to the champ, Phil Heath. Rolly Winkler, of course, on one side, William Bonek on the opposite side. These are, at least for now, the top four bodybuilders in this contest and in the world as they're going to hit the front lat spread. And Sean Ray, I'm going to let you break it down as they go pose for pose.
I'm going, Sean Roden has the front double bicep. And his front lat spread is not all that impressive.
See, the quad sweep is what's going to give Phil the advantage in that
Phil's
shot.
Yeah, but
Of
Phil's
course.
relaxing the midsection just a little bit too much for my liking. He's leaving the door open for these guys, man, and he needs to pay attention to all the aspects of this competition when he's posing. That's one of Phil's shots, that side chest shot. Of course, Sean's a little bit light in the pecs. He's very light in the triceps, as you'll notice. Phil's arms are much bigger than Sean Roden's arms.
I'd like to see the camera guys see if they can pull back and get a wider shot so we can see all of them at the same time for our viewers. That's exactly the angle we want to see, so it kind of gives everybody at home a better perspective of what's happening. The lower back, of course, a strength for Phil. Now, Sean, who wins this pose, Sean Roden or Phil Heath?
Phil Heath wins the back double bicep
Easily,
pose,
sure.
but Sean's right there. He
Sean's
doesn't give up a whole lot.
It's not the gap that there once was. Sean Roden made some significant improvements, and of course, if Sean Roden wins this Olympia, he's going to become the new Sean. So that's a whole other issue that you're going to have to worry about later, Sean Ray.
Mr. Olympia and Sean should be synonymous. It sounds beautiful to me. But if you're going to give Phil the back shots, you've got to give Sean the front shots. So now we're splitting hairs. Sean's in great shape. He's got the glutes. He's much improved from a year ago. You have to reward that as well.
Right now, who's looking at the edge for the third spot if you compare William Bonac and Rolly Winkler, two very different physiques.
I got to go with Rolly Winkler. I mean, I love William Bonac. He's muscular all over, but he looks watery throughout. He looks a little heavy in the midsection. It takes the lines away.
This is a big comparison coming up. Steve Weinberger just called the abdominal and thigh shot.
Sean Rhodes.
In this competition, that's really going to go a long way, of course.
That's Sean Rhodes' pose. Sean doesn't have the separation in the quads, but he has everything you need. And that shot right there, his waist disappears. Still looks a little uncomfortable hitting that shot, and I'm surprised he didn't hold it longer, and now he's relaxing his midsection.
Never
relax.
Phil Heath is making his money on the quads tonight. That's what's keeping him in that group, right? Because Phil Heath,
but when he relaxes his stomach,
that's the problem.
It's killing me right now.
The midsection for Phil Heath is an issue. It's looking different. Sean Roden's midsection is crisp. So that's going to be an area where Sean Roden is really going to score big with the judges. And of course, Rolly Winkler, when he hits the most muscular,
lights out.
He's an airplane.
It's lights out.
It's unbelievable.
I'm a fan of Phil. Right now, this contest is wide open.
Well, there it is. That's the final look for the preliminary judging of your 2018 Mr. Olympia. And we're going to head to break. We'll be back after this.